Alright everyone, this here's a universal player piano from somewhere around 1900. Just had it apart, cleaning it up and fixing it up. As you can see here, she got a little bit of water on her. I believe this originally was an ivory key set, but quite clearly someone has done a piss poor job of replacing it with lacquer or plastic or whatever they replace them with. This had some water dripping on it. Thankfully, it didn't get to any of the running gear. It went right down onto the keyboard, but that means I've got a lot of work to do on the panels. But she works pretty good. What we had to do is I went in here with some felt leftover velvet from freaking doing the SD earlier, and I took out the old felts. You can see some of the old ones that are light red, and replaced it with some of those because the wood had all swelled up. Pulled them out, just cut two little tabs, put them in there, used nails. Took a couple of these nails from the hardware store, stuck them in there to hold it open. So the glue didn't glue it too narrow. And then underneath here, you pull these. There should be two. I only have one because it's temporary. You have two screws on either side. And you pull those. And then from, there's a little brace right there. But from here to there comes off as a unit. There's an air hose right there that just kind of pulls off. And then this air hose right here just kind of pulls off of there. And this whole assembly comes out. I laid it on its back. I'm sorry, its face. On the table, and just got back here. And what happens is you take these keys and you very carefully pull them up like that, because the only thing that holds them in is a peg right here and the peg right there. And those will come up, and you kind of wiggle them and fish them out of there. And then you clean out the old felts, put glue new ones in. Kind of a lengthy process if you have a passel of them. I had to do, where'd the water start? I had to do from here that way. So you pull out a bunch of them. Thankfully mine were all numbered. Sometimes we'll have stamped numbers. But if you're going to be pulling them out, go through on the back side up underneath here. Someone had already been in here and they'd redone all the baffle work, which is nice. But they had pencil marked, or you can use pen or Sharpie or whatever to number all the keys so that they don't get put back in the wrong spot, because puzzles are bad. So I went through, did all the felts that needed to be redone. The ones on this end, the very, very end, there was like one or two that needed to be done, but for the most part, they were pretty good. And you just got to go through and adjust your lines. The one thing that I'm not happy with, up under here, this little gear right here. So this is what adjusts when you go into play mode and then the rewind mode. But the actuation of this little lever right here. Excuse me, adjusting on my knees. That little gear was worn off, so what I did is I come in here, see if I can find it. Alright, there's the peg. That little peg there that's moving deep down inside there. Let's see if I can move this. There we go. So that little peg there is what catches to move the reverse. And then that little set screw there, you pull that little set screw and kind of leave your gear in the chain, your sprocket in the chain, and that whole thing starts to slide. And you grab your little adjuster screw up under there, back that out, and this assembly will drop, and you can pull that out. And then what I did is that it's just a rod that is pressed into that gear. I knocked it out, turned the gear around, and knocked it back in. I am, in the very near future, going to have to take that in the machine shop and just have them cut a new one. Fairly simple. Any competent machine shop can do that. I mean, it won't be cheap, but short of going to the 100-year-old or 150-year-old piano store, you know, you're not going to find one. But easy peasy. Any competent machine shop can cut that for you, and just have them do it out of brass like the old one, and it'll be good to go. I haven't figured out whether or not you're supposed to oil these or grease these. It's really dry, so I'm inclined to think no, but I will find out. On my vacuum assembly, all the little brass tubes, be careful of those. You don't want to have to repair any of those. And then, let me get it out of gear. And then this will spin while you're playing, and it'll pull down. If it's winding too far to one way, so like this was winding too close to this side, and it was making that crinkling noise because it was riding up on the thing. Back in here, there's a little adjustment screw. Back that one off, and then tighten that one up. And then that'll shimmy your reel to the side. Yep, that's what we got going on here. It works pretty good so far. I'm actually lucky. Mine already has the electric set up. And the foot pedals so-so work. The electric one works really well. I don't know if this last part, though, is normal. Oh, let me get under here. So, it's a couple little tubes here. And this little knob here, I found that I wasn't getting any enough vacuum to operate it. I found that if you tighten that or loosen it, this acts as a bypass and allows more or less air to go to the air box and the running gear. And I'm assuming this one allows it access to the same thing and just does it by a pinch. But I'm not sure. I normally do reed organs. This is the first actually player I've done, but I'm doing this for my niece. And it's, get rid of that sun, block that sun right there. But there's the foot pedals, the air box. This thing gets pretty damn hot. I'm gonna have to take that out and clean it and figure out what the heck's going on. I don't like that thing. That thing might get replaced. But this, if your tube is all bogeyed, vacuum line from the hardware stores, just what the doctor, from the auto parts stores, just what the doctor ordered. Although I imagine the parts suppliers for these would carry it. I gotta go through here. I got one of these that's broken on the other side for holding the leaf. Actually, no, this is the broken one. It's got a little tip that's supposed to stick off that holds the panel in. Acts as a spring. It's broken. Probably getting replaced with a metal one. And yeah, that's about all we got going on down here. I'm just gonna have to put it back together and get the damn thing tuned, because oh dear Lord, is this thing out of tune. But that's how she do it. Well guys, I know it's different from what I normally do, but hope you like it, and catch you later.